It is Monday, October 12th, 2020, and this is an update on the Three Gorges Dam and current events in China. We have three pieces of information to cover today, including a look at the live stream and the water level at the dam. Also, courtesy of the Atlantic, keep an eye on Taiwan. We also have some new tweets. Let's hop into it. And a brief caveat before today's video. While researching for these reports, I come across information from various sources. Just because I decide to include a piece of information doesn't necessarily mean that I agree with it. I like to let you decide for yourself. Moving on. And first, let's check in on the live stream at the dam. And the spillway angle camera is still up and running today. And now a look at the side angle camera. It remains deactivated. This camera has been down for about 3 weeks. And now let's check in on the water level at the dam. The current water level is 172.01 meters. The current inflow is not noted, and the current outflow is listed at 23,500 cubic meters per second. It is worth noting that these numbers are released by the CCP. Over the past 24 hours, the water level at the dam has fallen from 172.19 meters to 172.01 meters. Upstream at Kuntan, the water level continues to fall. It was 175.5 meters 24 hours ago, and now it's 175.2 meters. So what do you think is going on at the dam? Is the CCP topping the water level off for the winter, or is there something more to the theories circulating online? I'd like to know your thoughts on this in the comments. And this comes courtesy of the Atlantic. Keep an eye on Taiwan. Taiwan is one of those flashpoints that has never flashed. The dispute over the island's fate has had the potential to erupt into conflict between China and the United States for decades. But the feared Chinese invasion has never come. The situation has remained deadlocked for so long that Taiwan's quandary often drifts into the background of Asian affairs, overshadowed by seemingly more pressing concerns such as North Korea's ambitions and inflamed tensions between India and Pakistan in Kashmir. Not now, with President Donald Trump distracted by the pandemic as well as his own ill health and already disengaged from Asian affairs. Concerns have been mounting about America's commitment to defending the region. China, by contrast, is becoming more assertive, having achieved a clampdown in Hong Kong, where it put a far-reaching and restrictive national security law in place with few, if any, tangible repercussions from the international community. As a result, some Taiwan watchers and the island's leaders themselves are worried that the risk of conflict breaking out over control of the island are rising, either caused accidentally or even purposely initiated by Beijing. It's becoming more alarming. Taiwan's foreign minister, Joseph Wu, told me. He said he was very concerned that Beijing would use its long-standing claim to Taiwan as a very good excuse to engage the nation. Washington, D.C. is taking notice too. Senator Josh Hawley and Representative Mike Gallagher each introduced legislation in recent months to bolster Washington's defense commitment to Taiwan. No longer can anyone harbor the illusion that the CCP would unify peacefully with Taiwan, Gallagher noted in a statement. Welcome back. Before the break, we were discussing how the United States, China, and Taiwan were intertangled in this international conundrum, like it or not. And now back to the article. In a situation as old and tense as this one, with its numerous bumps and bruises, discerning when to hit the panic button can be hard. The situation dates back to 1949, when Mao Zedong defeated Chiang Kai-shek's nationalists and chased them off the Chinese mainland to the island, where the nationalists re-established the rival Republic of China in Taipei. The Communist People's Republic of China has never relinquished its claim to Taiwan, which Beijing considers no more than a wayward province, leaving the prospect of conflict hanging over the region. Perhaps this current bout of the jitters is just another round of political posturing and saber rattling. China, though, is clearly turning up the pressure on Taiwan. In recent weeks, the Chinese have conducted exercises and drills unusually close to Taiwan, in the air and at sea. Last month, Beijing made clear it denied the existence of an unofficial boundary line in the Taiwan Strait that has ensured a degree of stability along the heavily fortified waterway. For over 70 years, Asian affairs, though not always peaceful, have at least been somewhat predictable. Washington forged a system of alliances supported by consistent foreign policy principles and an American presence that solidified U.S. power in the region and offered enough stability for Asian nations, including China, to prosper. That order is being challenged. A resurgent China is contesting American dominance in Asia and attempting to reassert its historical stature as the region's predominant power. Taiwan is one of the seams in that system that could split under the strain of this geopolitical confusion. Both Beijing and Washington are tugging more forcefully than they have in decades, driven by political change at home. The biggest shifts have come in China, where President Xi Jinping has refashioned the communist government by accumulating more power than any other leader since Mao himself. To justify his power grab, Xi has presented himself to his domestic audience as the ultimate defender of China's national interest and the man who will make China great again on the world stage. Xi's one-man rule has also created a situation in which the buck stops nowhere else. Things go well and he can win all the kudos. Things go wrong and he absorbs all the blame. At the moment, things are far from right in China. From Beijing's perspective, Taiwan is also drifting in the wrong direction, away from China. The belief that Taiwan should at some point reunify with the mainland was once widely held on the island, and the notion of becoming a fully separate country was highly contentious. But in outlook and in sentiment, Taiwan society is more and more intent on charting its own course. Thank you for watching this video. If you're finding it informative, please consider giving the channel a subscribe. And our last piece of information is a series of interesting tweets. And I think that's a good place to wrap up today's video. I hope that you found it informative, and check back soon for more content.